twisting and swirling the colors together. With the ashes in there. So the ashes will swirl around with the colors inside the glass. Now I want to smooth it all out, make it all nice and round again, and then I'm going to let it cool off before I get that second layer of clear over the top, and then I'm going to start making the heart shape. Again, just rolling and smoothing here. Getting rid of any texture in the glass. So now I'm just letting it cool. If you take close look, all those sprinkly white stuff swirled around in there are your ashes. And then the colors of the heart will not come out until it cools down all the way tomorrow. So actually it's going to be like a fuchsia pink color once it cools down all the way. That'll be tomorrow morning. So I'm going to get another layer of clear over the top. And now I'm going to start to shape that glass. Even though I'm going to do a heart shape, we always want to start nice and round with my wooden block. Eventually it'll start to smoke. You dip it back in the water and reshape the glass again. I'm going to give it a little stretch on the table. I want to make sure I'm skinny enough to fit inside my heart-shaped mold. Any of the shapes that are more specific, we use these solid steel molds down here at the bottom. I'm going to drop the glass in my heart-shaped slide out, and I'll have that exact shape. Give it a light little wiggle once I get inside there, making sure I fill up all the spaces. And then once I come out, I will have that heart shape there. So that's how we get our more specific shape. Now I'm going to manipulate it from there. I'm going to cut in what's called a jack line. I'm going to flatten it out, make it a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to put it on a base. See, we use the bigger tool we use. These are called your jacks. We use them to squeeze in our jack line. Your jack lines are typically the spot where you break your glass from the pipe. So eventually, once I'm done, I will break my heart right at that spot where I squeezed it in. Now I'm going to get it nice and hot, and I'm going to flatten it out. I want to make my heart a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. So I'm going to get a smash on the table. I'm going to flatten it out to a bigger shape. I'm going to slowly let that glass flatten out, keeping my heart shape. Up from there. Now I got it flattened. I'm going to heat it up. I am now going to cut in my jack line. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Keeping it turning the entire time I'm doing this. Eventually we'll get it squeezed in all the way, and we'll let it cool down a little bit. The spot where I want the glass to break needs to be the coldest spot, so I'm going to cool it off with some water. That ensures that my glass will break right where I want it to. I'm going to hold it up in the air, make sure it's got a nice flat back to it. I'm going to let it sit down a little bit. You can see some of the pink fuchsia starting to come out. You can see all the sprinkly white stuff is your ashes in there. And the more it cools down, the more it will show up. I'm going to go ahead and bring it over to the table where I'm going to break it off the pipe. We're going to give it a cut with the scissors. And then I'm going to smooth that out, make sure it's not sharp. Anytime you break the glass, you're going to have sharp spots on it. So we always want to smooth those out. I'm going to let that heart cool down for a second while I get my base to stand it on. So I'm going to cut off this little patty of glass. Let that freeze up. And now I'm going to put my heart on the base. This is the most important part. If I let go, if I don't get in the right spot, There's no fixing it. Once you stick it on there, you gotta go with what you got. So I'm starting to let it cool off, freeze up in place where I want it. Again, you can see some of the colors starting to come out. The more it cools down, the more you will see those. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven. Again, it's going to go into the oven, cool down very slowly, and ready tomorrow.